Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good evening, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome to a Kop-ish Katch Up, where we'll be discussing Salah and a few other things. But one thing we have to obviously start with is the passing away of Claude. Anyone who watches AFTV or has watched AFTV will know Claude was a massive personality. He's, to be honest, pioneers, and he's one of the people who we kind of have to pay homage to, because without people like Claude, then we're not sitting there doing this right now. So, yeah, rest in peace to Claude. Massive condolences to his family, his friends, his relatives. It's one that's hit not only the YouTube community hard, but football fans around the world is hit hard, because AFTV transcends just the UK, and he was loved and adored by thousands and thousands of people across the world. And I mean, we've all had personal interactions with him, and again, we're not just saying this because of the situation, but I've never been around Claude and felt uneasy. He's always been nice, always been accommodating, a great laugh, one of the funniest people you'll come across. What you see on YouTube is what you see behind the scenes. He didn't put on an act, he didn't put on a gimmick. That is Claude. Like, he speaks like that, he's passionate like that, and he can have a laugh with everyone, and he got on with everyone. So yeah, he will desperately be missed. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family, his friends, and obviously everyone at AFTV right now as well. Nothing but love for those guys. And yeah, horrible start to the show, but had to be addressed.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think you summed it up best. I mean, I've met Claude many a times, and when I started this whole YouTube journey thing, I remember when I first linked up with AFTV, and Claude showed me nothing but love. I didn't know nothing about the ins and outs of how AFTV went about their business, and he just spoke to me and just said, listen, I believe in you lot. And this is when we first started out. And he's just, do you know what it is with Claude? He's just genuine, bro. He's just genuine. And every time he saw me, he always took time, like, regardless whether he was busy, like, no, don't worry, man, we'll catch up. Like, just hearing his voice, like, he just, bro, I'm gonna be real, like, this is a tough one, because, again, as you said, for me, he's one of the pioneers. And that goes along with the whole, you know, AFTV, because whether you like AFTV or not, in my opinion, they are still pioneers, and they broke down a lot of doors for people like us to even do streaming when it comes to football. And he was a main part of that. So thoughts and prayers go out to Claude, his family, everyone involved, AFTV, his loved ones. Like, it's a terrible day, innit, for football, as you said, as a whole. And I think it was a nice tribute of Arsenal that they sent out a tweet as well. That just goes to show you, like, how much, do you know what I'm saying? How much he's, like, what he done, what he represented, that the club tweeted that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's a sad day. RIP Claude. And, yeah, it's a tough one, bro. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
he was one of the. He was a good one. I'm being real when I say that. I'm not saying that just because it's Claude. I'm saying that genuinely. Like, yeah,
he was one of the.
You know what I'm saying?
And again, PK Blinders. You've put this perfectly, to be honest. So Matt, also, I apologize for yesterday, the DACA debate. Same with you, Cam. Sorry, bro. Life's too short. Claude was a good geezer, for real. And
do you know what?
Don't want to go too deep into it, but first and foremost, PK Blinders, you stand-up person for that. You didn't need to do that, so
100%.
Appreciate that. And yeah, 100%. If we caused you any annoyance or anything yesterday as well, apologies from us as well.
Yeah, apologies from me as well. If anyone, sorry, Cam, quickly, apologies to anyone as well that took offense. Maybe I was going a bit too ham in terms of my responses. I apologize. Remember, I've always said this: we're a community. Without you guys, we're not here. It's that simple. It goes both ways. So it's a big community thing. So enough love to you all, and shout out, big up Claude, man, wherever you are, my bro.
And I think that kind of leads me on to
still.
the next thing as well. We're quite fortunate in terms of you guys as a community. You're very accommodating, very welcoming, and very supportive towards us. But I do just want to draw on one thing. There are people out there who do feel it necessary to go on social media and abuse people like Claude and things like that. And again, I'm saying this to people who don't actually do it, but what I will say is, if you know someone who does tend to do it, just speak to them and say, look, you're not helping yourselves doing this, you're not helping the person you're saying it to. And I genuinely say this all the time. If you don't like what me, Matt and Drifty are saying, and you're not fans of what we do, with all due respect, you don't have to watch us. In fact, I urge you not to watch us. But what I do say is, do not go on social media and abuse people. It's not necessary. It's not worth it for you. It's not worth it for that person. And it does affect people. Like, just because you can hide behind an alias or a name, etc., don't think it doesn't have an impact and effect on someone else. So please, please think before you tweet or post a message or DM someone. Just think twice. If it's just football based, go for it. But if you start getting personal with someone, just ask yourself this: would you be okay with someone doing that to your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, or family member, or you? And if the answer is no, then don't message the person and don't do it. And honestly, if you dislike someone's content, you know the best way of getting to them is not watching it. And I say that about us as well. If you genuinely don't like us, you genuinely don't want to hear our opinions, with all due respect to you, just switch off. Don't give us the view, and we will move on with our lives. So I'm going to leave it there. But yes, rest in peace to Claude. Nothing but love for you, bro. And bless up. Read out a couple super chats here. Tahir Qureshi: life's about forgiveness and respect, everyone. We don't know when we leave this earth. I was born in the 80s. We were taught to respect our eldest. Indeed.
Definitely.
Khalil, Claude, Lee Gunner, Lee Judges, and Don Robbie are the only Arsenal fans I respect. Condolences to Claude's family and friends. Yeah, indeed, condolences. Yeah, I mean, obviously this supersedes football, but we are obviously here to speak about some Liverpool stuff. But again, one thing I will urge everyone to do is go and drop people like Robbie, Pippa, Turkish, Charlene, Troops, DT, all these people that know him and have worked with him for years gone by. Lee Judges. Go and drop them a message and just offer your condolences, because you see those little things there when you. And again, I've dealt with losing someone while we've been on YouTube, and I speak of my personal experience. When you guys messaged me like well wishes and stuff, I read it and it actually gave me a boost. So I know it'll give those guys a boost as well. So again, don't have to say loads, but just drop them a message and just be like, look, thinking of you, condolences, and it'll be appreciated by those people.
Definitely.
All right, so now we move on to the main part of the show, which is Mohamed Salah. Now, usually when we're speaking about Mohamed Salah, we're talking about the goals he scored or him potentially missing a chance in a game, etc. Now we're potentially talking about a player who may actually look to leave the club in the summer. And this comes up from an interview he did with Marca again, where he was asked about the prospect of potentially playing abroad in Spain. And he said he doesn't know what the future holds, but it depends on the club, and he wants to play for years, so you never know. Since then, I also believe he said that Zidane was an idol of his growing up and was also a great manager. I think there's a lot to unpack with these statements, and I don't think it's a coincidence that this is the second time he's done it with the same news outlet. And I got to be honest with you both. I know I've said it quite a bit, but the more I kind of start reading into things, the more it kind of seems like he's going to be going in the summer. And were that to happen, I don't know what that does for Liverpool. I'll quickly read out super chats before I come to you guys. Edward, a scenario for you guys. Would you take 75 mil plus Varane and Odegaard for Salah, and we take that 75 mil plus an additional 20 odd to pay for Sancho? I mean, it sounds nice, but I genuinely don't want to lose Salah in the summer. And maybe I'm being too attached to a player, which is silly because we all know that football is a business to a lot of players, but I don't want to lose one of our best players. So for me, I don't think I would take that deal. Jamie Phillips, Salah going nowhere. Nobody apart from City can afford him this summer, and I think his contract up in 2024. His contract's up in 2023, so he'll be going into 2 years left on his contract this summer. Drift, I'll come to you first. Do you see anything in these comments by Salah? I mean, the first time he could be accused of being a bit naive. When you do it for the second time, are you sending a clear message to the club or to a potential buyer?
Yeah. First of all, well said, guys. R.I.P. Claude. Just wanted to just say that myself as well, because obviously he was nothing but a good guy, and what you lot said is true. He was exactly the same person behind the scenes. If you were standing by yourself at an event you didn't know, he'll be the guy who'll come over and be like, "You right, mate?" I was the guy, rare. Like, he was that kind of guy. He was a stand-up guy. So, yeah, man, he's in a better place now, and condolences to his family. But well said, guys. An opening show, because obviously I could hear you. But that was a nice piece. All right, it's kind of hard to talk about football after that, but Mr. Moe, I put something in the group yesterday, and Cal's response was, "Do you think that means Salah's going?" And to be honest with you, ever since then I've been thinking about it, and I think he's gone. You know, I do. This kind of screams a little bit of Coutinho, but just not in as much of a Rago way. You know, like Raheem Sterling, we've had a couple players over the years where when they start talking, why are you talking? Like, why are you, like, I don't like it. It ain't necessary. Basically, what you're doing as a player is you're leaving the door open to interpretation. And the one thing you shouldn't do when you love a club or you know you're going to stay at that club is leave your future up to interpretation. Like, for me, that's really sly tactics. Do you remember how Sterling did that interview? And it was like, yeah, he's blatantly trying to, like, just put everything in the air and just be like, yeah, you might as well start getting ready for it now, guys. Yeah, I don't like all the, you're right, Cal. You do it one time and you're like, bruv, like, you kind of slipped up a little bit. Don't do that again, bro. Do you get what I mean? But you do it again and you're like, this is a bit weird. This is a little bit weird. Why are you bigging up Zidane for? We've actually got to play them. So I guess he could be like, oh, well, we've got to play him. So, you know, that's the topic of discussion, isn't it? But it's like, yeah, but you know, they've courted you before and that. Like, come on, man. Like, you shouldn't really be doing that. And yeah, in the summer where we've got no money to spend after the whole pandemic, but we need to strengthen the squad massively, I wouldn't be shocked if they look at a little cash injection from getting rid of Mo. Highest paid player at the club, probably get about 120 for him if you get the right offer. I'm worried. I'll be honest with you. I'm definitely getting worried because if Mo goes, guys, it don't really matter who we get. We didn't go forward. Like, we could get Mbappe in. If Salah goes, we didn't go anywhere.
So I'm gonna
go anywhere. We're still just at square one.
Stay there.
You know what I mean?
That's what I want to get into next. But before I do, so Matt, come to you quickly. Drifty said a few things then. One of the things I wanted to pick up on was the price. 120 mil. Now, you look at Hazard, for example, who went to Real Madrid. He went for around 140, I believe it was, right?
Undisclosed, but between 120 and 140. Is that
real? Was that 40 million real thing? Yeah.
That's why it's undisclosed, because Chelsea don't want to say. Oh, sorry, Real Madrid. Because
it was like 98. that they said in the press, weren't it?
Yeah, no, it's about 140.
It got well,
And,
not leaked, but it was a lot of journalists and agents tied to the deal have said you might want to try closer to like 150 million euros, and everyone was like, "What? He's got a year left? Like, what are you not talking about?"
So that's what I was going to say. He only had a year left on his contract, and you could argue, obviously, when he left, he was playing really well, but he's not been as consistent over the last 4 years as Salah has.
Oh.
If Salah was to go for 120,
it was off the back of that European masterclass, though.
that's Europa.
No, but it was still a masterclass. You go.
But even still, that season, Salah was, in my opinion, still better.
Oh, fair enough. I'm just saying.
I mean, since Salah's been at the club, in my opinion, he's been better than Hazard was in the Premier League. And if you're looking at a player who's what was Hazard was about 29 when he left as well, wasn't he? So same age as Salah. He's got less injury problems than Hazard had even before he left Chelsea, and he's got a better goal scoring record. You'd arguably say he's more marketable than Hazard with the backing of his nation. And
that's a fact.
So are we sort of getting bumped if we only get 120 mil for him if we have to sell him? So Matt, that's for you.
Pandemic. There's a few factors that I would say 120 is not a bump. It just won't feel good because we don't want him to go, innit? We could get 200. It ain't gonna feel good. It doesn't matter what we get. It's not gonna feel good, is it?
This is what I will say. If we get 120 from Mohamed Salah, we will feel shortchanged. He's got 2 years left, and he's one of the best players in world football. We sold Felipe Coutinho to Barcelona for how much money?
142.
142. I can't remember how many years I have in his contract, but I'm just saying the levels that they're playing at, marketability and whatnot, Salah would definitely go for more. And let's just put it like this. I know we're in a pandemic, but it's still, as the years go by, players just get naturally more expensive. I have to be real. Mohamed Salah goes for 120, we're going to really feel shortchanged. I just think we will. I know I will. I'll be like, this is Mohamed Salah, regardless of 2 years left. If they can go and get 140, 130 for Hazard, then he had a year left, and we're only getting 120 for Salah, we're being ripped off. And on top of that, people are trying to use the whole COVID excuse as to why they ain't got money. Well, if that's the case, you keep him. And let me say this as well about Salah. I don't think it's definitive that he's gone. Me personally, I think he wants a new deal. I've been saying that for a little while. When the first interview, I said he wants that new deal, and his agent has instructed him just to kind of don't say too much, but give them something to make Liverpool think that potentially you may leave. And here's the thing. Liverpool will look at that and think, "Right, you know what? We're going to have to act now. He's got 2 years left. He's not doing himself or the club any justice. We're going to have to sit down now." So I think this summer is where we will find out. I do generally feel like Mo wants to stay. But at the same time, it makes me wonder whether there was a gentleman's agreement. This happens in football. People don't realize this. Sometimes in football, when you sign a player, after they sign another deal, they will say to the player, after 2 years, we'll sit down and see where you're at and see where your head's at. Because if you remember, there were rumors before, even last summer or even the summer before, where it was told that Salah won't talk about his future now, but the year after. And this is this year. And this year is the summer where maybe Liverpool and him have an agreement. But he's just kind of saying, "Raj, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know." And he's been honest about it. So I think maybe we should pump the brakes and not necessarily think he's definitely gone. It don't look good, though, I'll be real with you, because obviously you want your star player to always come out and say, "I want to stay." And what he hasn't said is this: "I love Liverpool." No, he has said this, but he hasn't said, "Listen, I just want to stay at Liverpool, so hopefully the club will, you know when people say like, hopefully that it's in the club's hands, but I want to stay." A bit like what Gini Wijnaldum has said. Salah hasn't said that.
And Mane.
Yeah, he hasn't said that. So he's leaving the door a lot more open. And I've said this to you guys already as well when we was talking about wages. You have to understand people. You might not agree with it, but I look at it like this. You're Mohamed Salah. You're one of the most marketable footballers in world football. You're on 200,000 a week, and you're seeing players like in the same country as you getting 350, 400. Like you're seeing Aubameyang pick up like 375, and you're on 200. you're gonna ask questions. You just are naturally, because you're thinking, I'm Mohamed Salah. Like, I'm one of the best players in the Premier League in the world, and you're telling me that doesn't reflect me financially. Football's also about money as well, and I kind of feel like, again, it's a contract issue, but again, it could be a gentleman's agreement. But we have to wait and see. I don't know.
So that's what I was going to lead on to next. So, I mean, the contract situation. I mean, again, I don't want this to become about FSG, but it kind of leads into it a little bit. Salah's the highest paid at the club at the moment, on 200k. You look around the Premier League at other top teams. So, Manchester City, I think De Bruyne is probably their highest paid player, if I'm not mistaken, and he's on more than that. Man United, De Gea is on more than that. Chelsea, I'm pretty sure. I don't even know who their top earning player is.
I think it's my man at the moment. It's not Havertz. I think Havertz is on 280. I think 280.
280. You look at Arsenal, Aubameyang, he's on
375.
higher weight. So, I mean, Kane probably on the same amount as Salah, probably, isn't he?
I think when Kane signed his last deal, he was rumored to be about 200, 250.
And Salah does have performance bonuses in there as well. So I believe his weekly could be up to 278, I've heard. But again, I don't know how true or how false that is. And again, Matt, you alluded to it, the fact of he's looking at other teams and thinking, well, I'm the top striker in the league effectively for the last 3 years, about to be the 4th year potentially. And I'm getting less than the other players who are the top players in their team. Am I as valued to Liverpool as they say I am? And I do think Salah actually deep down wants to stay, but I think it's almost like when you're at work and you feel underappreciated. You might love your workplace, you might love your colleagues, but you think, if I'm not being appreciated here, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to go somewhere else where I feel like I might be appreciated more.
Yeah.
Could it be that's the situation? And again, as just regular people, we're sitting there thinking 200k. How can someone be earning at 200k? But again, it's the market he's in, innit? It's like, let's say every YouTuber was getting 100k a year, but we heard, I don't know, and let's say we're on the same amount of subscribers as all the other YouTubers, but all the other YouTubers are getting 200k a year, but we're on 100k a year. We're still living good on 100k a year, but we're going to be asking, why aren't we on the 200 like everyone else? And I think that's probably what it boils down to a little bit. So, do you think we as a club now have to look at our wage structure and think we've got to have a complete change of thinking on how we do this now? Because the whole bonus structure, it sounds nice, but I think players want guarantees.
Remember, we spoke about this maybe a few months ago, and me personally, I haven't changed my opinion. I don't think you should watch face. I get it; it's life. I don't like people who watch face though. So if it's because he's watching everyone else get money, I don't like that. I don't. You ain't that you're wanting for anything. I understand human nature though, but is money the only way for appreciation? Like, is it like you do have to think? You do have to think about other things. Now, I'm talking about an ideal world, and I know it doesn't exist, but I have to stress it because it's how I am as a person. When you've got a fan base that absolutely adores you, when you've got a club who made you who you are. Salah wasn't a crap player or anything. We already knew he was a quality player, but we made him. He is who he is because of Liverpool. We're the ones who sing the songs. We're the ones who, do you get what I mean? Like, and he's our highest paid player. In my opinion, appreciation from a club is you're the highest paid player. You can watch face at other clubs all you want. If you're your club's highest paid player, then your club does appreciate you. And I know FSG do need to pull their finger out and change things, because we're not going to be able to get the Mbappes and the Haalands of this world if we stick to this. So I agree with that. But I do hate the idea that a man on 200 grand a week plus goal bonus is watching face and then he's going to like kick up a fuss about it. I don't know. Like, it's hard for me because I feel like when you're on 200 grand a week and you have a fan base who adores you, a manager who's done everything he can for your career, I don't necessarily think watching other people's money is a good idea.
But is
I
he
do
kicking
get it.
up a
We're all
fuss?
human beings. I do get it. It's a tough one for me. I sit very on the fence between morality and being realistic to just the way the world is. You
But
get what I mean?
Drip,
Like,
All right, let me
I
ask you
struggle
this
with it.
then.
sorry,
All right, so
sorry, one step, literally, Matt. But at the same time, Drift, we've sat here and especially you has criticised the club for saying Mane's on less than Salah. He's not being appreciated. Whereas we could argue 100k is fine as well. Same thing with Mane, he's adored by the fans.
But then you put that into context, bro, because we're at the same club and he's just as important of a player. So that's just putting things into context. I think if he's on half the money, if it's true that he's only on 1.5, that's half. That's putting things into context, bro, because then Mane will feel underappreciated because it's the same structure, but he's only getting half the amount. So that makes things a little bit different.
But this is what I'm saying. It's not just about our club, though. It's about what... Because let's be honest, Mane and Salah could right now go to pretty much any club across Europe and start pretty much. They're that good. And we've got them at the club. So shouldn't Mane... I think the best way to break it now is probably a sales job. Let's say, for example, we were all working in a sales job. And we're killing it, we're making good money, but your friend comes in there like, yeah, I'm doing this job as well, and like I'm making double what you're on or 50k more than you. You're gonna think, oh, so why is it I'm working as hard, if not harder than some of these others, but I can't be compensated in the same way? And again, I think we kind of have to take ourselves out of it as regular folk making regular salaries, because that is a different world to us. But I'm just trying to break it down as much and just play devil's advocate.
What you're saying, and I know as the host, you're obviously just playing devil's advocate. So like, what you're saying is completely right, and that's why I'm saying I'm stuck on the fence of morality versus realism, because I know the world that I live in doesn't allow me to really be. Because you lot, obviously, not especially Matt, have known me for years. I never let money dictate anything I do because I don't want money to ever be the reason I do anything. So I very much always try to make sure that I don't ever care about this and that. And but sorry, Matt, just the one thing I'll say before I forget. What I don't like is when people only think about money, and you guys can attest to this, and I'm sure the viewers can as well. You also have to think about your environment as well. And when people always do these things where they they chase the money, like, I'll be honest with you, I can't tell you this is a fact what I'm saying. Obviously, I'm making assumptions, and assumptions are the mother of all fuck. But I'm gonna say it. If you go and ask Eden Hazard how much he enjoyed his life while he was at Chelsea compared to Real Madrid, I reckon he'd probably say Chelsea was the best part of my career. And we've all been in jobs where we're getting paid more, but we don't like the people we work with. We don't like the environment. We don't like the building. We don't like the journey to work. It isn't always about money. Right. So if you're already on big money and you're happy where you are, I don't necessarily like the idea of just chasing the paper, because your life might not be nice where you go. You might get more money, but are you going to enjoy your time there?
That's facts as well.
What you're saying is 100% true, and I'm not even saying what I'm going to say is facts. But here's another way to look at it. You're Mohamed Salah. You went to Basel. Sorry, you started off at Basel. Sorry, you went to Chelsea. Didn't work out for you. You went to Roma, and that's when you really started to hit the ground running, especially in Europe. You come to Liverpool. You're now a bad boy. Sorry, you're an icon. You're actually an icon. And you're thinking to yourself, right, like, I kind of had dreams of playing for Real Madrid or Barca. Like, I've always wanted to play there. Because what I sometimes see is this: overseas players, they always look at clubs as like progression. And what worries me sometimes is that we get used as a stepping stone. And that's not because we're not big, it's because of in other countries, they perceive Real Madrid and Barca as the pinnacle, like as the top of the top. Because let's be real. If Salah was to score 44 goals in the Spanish league, he gets mentioned in Ballon d'Or. But he could do that for Liverpool and potentially not even get mentioned. That's how crazy it is. It's like the overall picture. And as you've always said, just, you know, when you've got something on your CV, when you can look back and you're speaking to like your grandkids and your kids, whatever, you could be like, look, I played for Basel, Roma, Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid. I think that means something to certain players, whereas to other players it doesn't. Other players more care about, all I care about is where I am right now. I'm comfortable. I'm in my environment. I'm doing what I'm doing. And I know this is going to sound a bit weak, but how do we not even know that Salah's family might want to change? They might want to live in a different location. There's so many things and some different aspects that we don't even think about because we're just seeing it from a football perspective. Because for all we know, Salah's missus might say, well, I love England or whatnot, but can we go to Spain? You've always said you wanted to go to Spain. Is it possible that we could go to Spain? And like sometimes these things like can happen. And let's be real, I don't want to even get too carried away, but you see Alexis Sanchez, I think a lot of the fan base know. We was on the verge of getting Alexis Sanchez until his, apparently, and I say reportedly, his wife said, I would rather live in London. That was a big factor.
But you know, what you're saying is true. That's the only part I don't really, and with no disrespect to anyone's mission.
Yeah, it's not about whether you agree with it. I'm just saying these things happen.
No, I know, but that's the only part I don't care about because A, ask Fernando Torres how that move to London was because apparently his wife had a lot to do with that. And B, when you marry a sports person, you have, and again, no disrespect, you have to go with the flow. You knew what you were marrying into. You can't tell him where he plays football because you want to live there. You've got to go with what, yeah, that's part of the package of marrying a footballer. So it's true and it's a complete fact and it matters to the person whose family it is. But I don't think that should ever dictate a move. And again, like I said, ask Fernando Torres. Apparently it was his wife who said, I want to live in London. Can we do this? And that's probably the worst thing he ever did in his career was go Chelsea. So ask Fernando Torres about that.
Because again, the last thing I will say is this, yeah. We're not Mohamed Salah, so only he knows like what he wants to do with his career. But how do we not know that when he was a child or whatever, like he always wanted to play for Real Madrid or Barca, but he can't openly say, like openly. Like the closest thing he can say is, Spain, maybe one day, or Zidane, yeah, one of my favorite players. And again, I know we're gonna play Real Madrid, so we look at that as like Madrid trying to stir things for Liverpool, and they might be because they're asking questions that they know really and truly you're stirring the pot. But I just think Salah, and I'm not making excuses, I just think Salah can be too honest. Like you see the captaincy thing, that's something that you just don't say. You say that to Jurgen, you say that to your agent, and maybe you get your agent to sit down with Jurgen. You don't need to say that to Marco. And that's why I think sometimes what I find especially, and a lot of people will attest to this, when players go overseas, when they play on the internationals, yeah, when the press get hold of them, they're a lot more open to speak compared to when they're very guarded at their clubs. When it's like loads of journalists will say it, like they're like, I can't wait for example, Kevin De Bruyne to come to the Belgian camp because that's when I can get a real open conversation. Like they can ask him, Kevin, how's the contract renewal going? And he will say, well, we've still got a lot of things to work on. Whereas you ask at City, the press man saying, bro, get out of here. Oh, you're not coming back. Let me take away your badge. Yeah, next. That's how they carry on. So it's very different. Very different.
Yeah, I see where you're both coming from. I'll be honest with you, I do think we underestimate just how much of a pull family can have. I'm not going to lie. I mean,
no, I don't underestimate it at all, bro. No. And fair dues, like I said, if that's what you do, then that's cool. But you have to flip it the other way though, and you have to think it ain't the man being bad. It isn't the man being bad man to his family by picking his career. You also have to think, why would the family be bad man and make him have to change what he wants to do because of what they want to do?
It's not necessarily making it. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a difficult one to just say where the guy goes, the family has to follow, because there's footballers out there whose families live in a different country to where they're playing, and that can cause friction behind the scenes and all that. So it's difficult to put that all in context. And again, this is why I'm a big advocate for footballers getting what they get paid, and other sports people like boxers and MMA fighters, because we only see 90 minutes of a game each week. We don't see what happens behind the scenes. We don't understand that when we have a kid, we get 2 weeks paternity leave. Footballers may get one night and they're playing the next day and stuff like that. They may even miss the birth of their child. We don't take that into consideration when we speak about footballers, and I think that needs to happen as well. But when it comes to the whole situation with Salah, I'm going to flip it on you both now. Let's say, for example, let me think of a player who's around 29. Kevin De Bruyne. I use Kevin De Bruyne as an example. Kevin De Bruyne, let's say he's got 2 years left on his contract, and his dream, as we all know, has always been to play for Liverpool. And he's made no secrets that he was a Liverpool supporter growing up, etc. We're in a position where we can buy Kevin De Bruyne. We can pay the salary he wants. Would we be sitting here as fans saying that it's cheeky of Kevin De Bruyne to potentially want to come to us because it's his dream? And are we being biased? And again, this is not aimed at you two, obviously. This is me as well. Are we being biased as Liverpool fans by not seeing the bigger picture and thinking, you know, he's a human being. Real Madrid might be his dream. He's got personal ambition. I think 2Pixel2 said it quite well, where it's like, Jay-Z's a millionaire. Why shouldn't he strive to be a billionaire? Why not try and get more money? Football's a short career. Like, why not try and secure your family for generations upon generations upon generations? Are we being a bit too close-minded with it at the moment, as opposed to being a bit more open-minded and not just thinking as a Liverpool fan who loves Salah?
I mean, if you read about gluttony in the Bible, but I get your point.
Gluttony is different, though. Gluttony is
having the same thing.
It's not nice. No,
see, I took that question.
Making a move only for money is gluttony, bro.
It's
no.
It's not.
But hear what I'm saying.
If you make it only for money, it is. If you want to go there anyway and they're paying you more, then that's fine. But if you're making it pure, if you make any decision purely on money, it's gluttony.
It's not, Drift, because it's your intentions of what you aim to do with the money, Drift.
No. What you do with the money is if I said to you, let's go for a night out, and you say no, I can't be bothered, and then I say, bro, if you come for a night out, I'll borrow you that £200 you asked me if you could borrow, and you're like, yeah, I'm coming. You're coming out for the wrong reasons. You should come out because you want to come out.
All right,
you shouldn't be coming out just for the money.
Let me ask you this. Say you're working.
No, but that's just a simple example of what I mean. Doing something only for money, I don't agree with. Personally,
let me ask you this. Say you're working in Tesco as a manager and you're getting, I don't know, 20k a year, and you're doing everything right? And then Marks and Spencer say we're going to give you 30k a year to do the same job. Are you going to stay at Tesco or are you going to go M&S? And bearing in mind, all M&S say keep doing what you're doing. Are you gonna stay there personally and go, I love these people? And don't get me wrong, obviously you'll have your friends and whatnot, but are you gonna think, do you know what? This may be better for, well, you may think, right, if I go there to M&S, who are widely, have a wider, reputation than Tesco as well. So not just about the money, you're also thinking about the reputation of that store. So that might even get you further out. Would you not think about going to M&S, or would you literally just be like, no, that's gluttony, that's Tesco? Because that's how I'm seeing the question, if that makes sense. That's how I'm seeing it.
In that scenario, I would go to M&S. But I think I think the thing that's a little bit different, Matt, which is why it's kind of hard to make, as Cal said, comparisons as normal people, is when you earn 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year is a substantial difference to your life.
No, I hear
when
that.
When you earn 200 grand a week, 300 grand a week isn't a substantial difference to your life.
No, but what I'm saying is this, though, regardless of, because remember, you got football's, so to speak, is fantasy money, where I just talked about real money, but we're going to put it into context. So it's kind of like, so I see it's the same thing. So if Salah's on 200,000 and another club has said we can give you 300,000, and you've had the ambitions of playing in that country, we can't really hold it against Salah. Because one, they're offering the chance to play in a country or for a team that he's wanting to play for. And not only that, they're also going to up his wages, which I think he's entitled to because he puts in his graft. We're not talking about, say, for example, a player who's lazy, doesn't do nothing. It's like, no, this player's just greedy because like he doesn't even put in a shift, and he's going for the money and he can't even sort out things back at his own club kind of thing. That's how I see it, because I see it as, dare I say it, Real Madrid and Barcelona, as much as it burns me, their reputation like supersedes everyone else in football. That's just how it is right now. And it's going to take a while, I think, before that changes. Because it goes back from Michael Owen to McManaman to Henry to all of them. They've all wanted to play for these clubs, and they have. And I don't think it's because they didn't love the club that they was at. I just think they wanted to try something new, and there's a personal ambition of theirs. Like, imagine this. Owen had the chance to play for sorry, had the chance to play with R9. That's mad. He played with R9. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's mad.
Can you have some of these super chats? Give me one sec. All right, so A-Spec Limited wouldn't want to lose Salah, but if we do, Kane is a must to guarantee the goals. In addition, one of Grealish or Neto or both if FSG got the balls. Yeah, we're going to speak about the conundrum it potentially puts on the summer. 2Pixel2, look at top players. Look, top players think about their careers first to win as many trophies. That's what sport is about, winning. Just because we are fans, it's easy for us to say he should think about us first. Very good point. Dinesh Karai, I know people who left for more money and do not enjoy working there. They say they made a mistake leaving the company.
That's
very
facts
true
as
again.
well. That's facts as well.
That's what I said earlier.
No, but I also know people who have left to go and get more money and they're happier as well. So again, it works both ways.
Yeah. But in football, one thing that's quite easy to do though is predict the future, kind of. So if the club you're going to isn't really in a good place, you can kind of predict that it possibly could be a lot more stressful and less fun than where you are. Do you get what I mean?
Again, I think it's difficult to say that though, because again, you look at Torres, for example, he went to Chelsea, flop, but you look at someone like Bruno Fernandes who went to a really poor Man United team and he's elevated them. So again, it's difficult. Yeah,
but Man United was still better than Sporting Lisbon, so it couldn't really have gone backwards in regards to how hard it was to play well in that team. Real Madrid are way worse than they've ever been. So it could possibly be stressful for you to go there. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you just a quick question. Do you think Mohamed Salah deserves to be on 300 and 350?
For me, yes.
Me personally, only compared to seeing other players get it, I think 350 grand a week is fucking ludicrous.
No, obviously it is, but I'm just saying.
So it's hard for me to. In comparison with others, yes. In comparison,
that's why. And do you know why I say yes as well? And again, I know it's different when you've got players like Rashford reportedly on 250. And again, I know we shouldn't look at other cars, but we're talking about one of the greats at our club, innit? And if we want him to what's the word? Like withhold his legacy at Liverpool, I do feel like FSG should be like, do you know what? This is Mohamed Salah, you know. Are we going to risk losing him? Because I'm going to be real, like how Drift said. If Salah goes and whoever we get, we're not going to feel like we've taken a step forward. We're going to feel like we've either downgraded or we've sidestepped. We've never been in a position, in my opinion, under FSG where we've always gone and added to what we've had and not have to take something away. Like, and I always will go back to the Coutinho argument. Like, unless Coutinho was sold, we wasn't getting, in my opinion, Alisson and Van Dijk. We might have got one, but we weren't getting both. And as a fan base, and I just feel like we deserve our players, our best players, to see out their best years at Liverpool financially, if it can be done. And I feel like it can be done. It's just whether your owner decides if they want to do that. That's how I look at it.
Jeremy E says, what else can Salah achieve in the Prem? Again, it's kind of a fair point again as well. And again, another thing as well we have to look at. Thierry Henry. All right, Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Steve McManaman. We can name so many players. Luis Suarez, Coutinho, Emmanuel Petit, Anelka. All these players, where as great as they were in the Prem, where did they end up? Where did they end up going? Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah, Real Madrid and Barcelona were a different prospect at that time, though.
But it's the history of these clubs.
Everything. No, I get that.
What you said is true. It's true. Right now, Real Madrid and Barcelona are nowhere near as big as how they used to be. For example, Lionel Messi is going to retire soon and he might not even stay there. Sergio Ramos is fighting with Real Madrid for a new contract. He apparently wants the same wages for a 2-year deal. They're only offering him one. And Florentino Perez apparently has now got involved in negotiations because they want to keep him there because he's like the staple, obviously, since Ronaldo's left, Other than that, they are still building. So you've got players like, for example, Rodrigo, and you've got flipping Vinicius Jr. They're in a rebuild. Barcelona in a rebuild. They've got Pedri. They've got flipping Ansu Fati. They're in a rebuild. They're not at both teams are not at the pinnacle. But the problem is that both of those names hold weight. They hold weight. You know, when I say Real Madrid and Barca, they just hold weight in it because when I say that, Drift, you just think of Ronaldinho. You think of R9. You think of Raul. You think of Figo. You think of Messi, sorry. You think of all of them.
I think times are changing. I think modern day life in general doesn't hold as much weight with that regard. But you're right. I've got a feeling in about 10, 20 years' time, Real Madrid and Barcelona just won't have this because life changes. It'll probably be Man City and Chelsea you talk about. Like, life's weird like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, things change. But I get your point. I do.
We say that though, Drift. But I'm 31, and since I can remember, Real Madrid and Barcelona have been the two pinnacle clubs in European football.
But you must admit, in the last 5 years, it's slowly started to change a bit.
A little bit, but you look at players who
go there. Though.
Yeah,
like, for example, Mbappe,
it's still mad.
Bro, Mbappe is how old? And he
still wants to go at Real Madrid.
No, I guarantee you, Haaland ends up at one of them.
It's weird. I get what you're saying. Gareth Bale was from Wales, brother. And that was his dream. His dream was to play for Real Madrid.
No, look, I get it.
Say it's a European thing.
I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, I would just like to say we all remember our childhoods, and even though Barcelona and Real Madrid are right up there, I personally feel like maybe about 15 years ago, maybe, like when man was in them teenager days, I would have probably said Juventus and AC Milan were bigger than Barcelona in terms of an allure of wanting to play for.
No,
not bigger.
They were in a conversation.
15 years ago was Ronaldinho in that, bro.
No, but what I mean is AC Milan and Juventus was still a club that could have got you to go there over Barcelona. AC
Milan could talk. I don't think Juventus in that context.
Because
Juventus
AC Milan,
talk, bro.
But
no, I'm pretty sure Juventus weren't even back in Serie A.
You're thinking of the nostalgia of like, I'm sorry,
bro. Juve are probably the biggest team in Italy.
Now they are.
No, but just period, bro.
I don't know. That might be.
I'm sure Juve are the biggest club. If you know, you've got Man U is the one people say from.
They're the most successful.
Juventus are the biggest club in Italy.
But AC though, no. The reason why I say AC because here's the thing: when Juve, I mean, don't get me wrong, Juve have always
you can fall off. That's the only point I'm making. You can fall off.
No.
When I say Maldini, when I say flipping George Weah, when I say Shevchenko, when I say Seedorf, Gattuso, Cafu, Sergio, and I'll go one better. We're talking about Baresi, Costa Curta. Man's going back to flipping
Hullet.
Who was in goal? No. Sebastian Rossi. Shout out you man that no. I'm taking it back. Man's talking about flipping Boban, Rui Costa, sorry. Hey, listen. Man will
Marco
go back,
van Basten. Bro,
Leonardo.
But all I'm saying is Barcelona, 20 years ago then maybe. Barcelona are always a massive club.
They are.
About 20 years ago, you would have gone Italy over Barcelona. You would.
But that's because maybe they fell off. But you see what you got to remember though, Drift. Who's your favorite player of all time? R9. Like, you know when you think
left
of R9,
Barcelona for Italy, bro.
No, but that was
then where did he end up
that
again?
was politics.
Yeah, fair enough. But
politics.
The point I'm trying to make is there are other big clubs that there are cycles, and I feel like there's a possibility Real Madrid and Barcelona in the next 10 whatever years.
You could be right.
They may lose that appeal, and there may be other clubs that become more appealing because modern day football is a lot different to how it was
You're right,
before.
But one thing you can't do though is eradicate history. So
no. I'm not saying they'll be irrelevant or anything like that. No, that's not what I'm saying.
For me personally, I would personally redescribe it as like it's a trend now. Like it's a trend for everyone to, for example, go to say Man City where it is over Barca, because that's the trend. That's what it's been for the last 5 years. But when we talk of history, though, I will always say, well, we already know. Like the football fathers of this team, it's a Real Madrid and Barca. It's a Real Madrid and I hate to say it, but it's
no. Listen, like I said, I'm just saying. I think, and you know what, I'm lying just to make my point, so I have to hold my hands up. I know that Bobby Robson actually screwed Barcelona and deliberately sold Ronaldo because they were going to sack him. I know there was some dodge. I know there was politics. Trust me. But the point I'm just trying to make is everything does go in cycles, especially
You're right. Football's about cycles. I agree.
And I just feel like it ain't like it used to be with I have to play for Barcelona. I have to play for Real Madrid. I think football is evolving a little bit. And I kind of feel like it won't be like that for much longer. I could be wrong, but I feel like other teams, other clubs, other countries are coming up. And I feel like the allure of other teams can play a part. Money's a lot to do with that. Don't get it twisted. Money's a lot to do with that. But allure of other clubs might make the world a bit different. Do you know what I mean? It ain't like it was back in the day. It was like, there's no doubt in my mind I'm playing for Real Madrid. I don't even care what's going on. I'm playing for Real Madrid. I think if a Man City, if a PSG, if these clubs get involved now, I think players.
There's more of a conversation. There is more of a conversation.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, agree. Kadir saying, just wanted to say RIP Claude. Indeed, rest up Claude. Rest up Claude. Dinesh Karai, no player is bigger than the club. We move on as a club. Very true. Khalil Hassan says Hazard was 146 mil and was 29 years old, so nothing less than 145 for Mo.
That's true.
I agree. LFC Aaron, guys, he spoke to them because we are playing Real Madrid next week. It was one question out of about 15 or 20 questions asked, nothing in it. Moose LFC 21, for all we know, Liverpool might not be trying to give him a new contract, and they are could be running it down like genie. So I don't blame him. Career first.
Liverpool. No, sorry. I just got to quickly comment on this one. I can't see FSG being the shrewd businessmen that they are, running down Salah's contract. In my opinion, they would look at it and be like, he's too marketable. We either sell him. Like, you wouldn't let him go on a free.
You're missing it. No, you're missing it, Matt. Because they're shrewd, they will let it run down as long as they can get away with it.
Nah, because in my opinion, again, Salah's in a different. No. The reason I say that, Salah's in a different category to Junior Ronaldo. I do generally think, I know what you're saying. Another point. Now that you said that, another point, I get what you're saying. But I just feel like the players, in terms of how they're perceived in Liverpool, I don't think FSG would take that gamble with Salah. I think they're more likely to take that gamble with Ronaldo.
Matt, that depends whether they think they can make £120 commercially, 120 million, say commercially.
Let's be real. If you're FSG, would you think to yourself and be like, let's see if we can just like hold him off from getting that new deal, but then eventually we're either going to cave in or we're going to sell him.
I would, first of all, I'd go to the Middle East and I'll say, Nike, how much money did we make on Salah shirts?
We're talking about most. No disrespect to Ronaldo, because Ronaldo's.
There's loads of factors, bro. There's loads of factors.
Bro,
remember Salah? Salah's officially the most commercial player in the whole world behind Lionel Messi.
And if that is true,
apparently his commercial pool is bigger than Ronaldo.
If that's a fact, that's a fact.
That's mad.
Liverpool will know this. They're not like, come on, we have the best guys in the business that crunch numbers when it comes to like knowing these things. They know what they're doing. So when I say this, I don't think it's a case of they're thinking, well, we're just trying to do Gino Ronaldo. Let's see if we can just hold off for a bit and not pay him what he is, and then we'll see if we can get him on reduced terms. They're not stupid because they know for a fact this is Mohamed Salah. He commands interest like that. And no disrespect to Gino Ronaldo, the different players, they are different in the football.
No, I hear that. Remember when we had that conversation remember when we had that conversation with a certain someone who's in the know, and he was letting us know that Salah, like sometimes during pre-season, he'll go on tours, and like they'll charge so much for entry, and people want to see him so much, they'll make a couple mil. A man just doing like meet and greets. Remember, and we couldn't believe what we was hearing. Yeah, bruv. Salah is such a pull. If FSG think they can make more than 120 in 2 years commercially from him, they might keep him and run it down. I don't think Cal's going too far left thinking that. I think they'll weigh up all the options of everything. Because if he's performing on the pitch and helping Liverpool win, and they're still making bags of money off him off the field, I don't necessarily know if they would just think, oh yeah,
But-
just sell him.
All right, let me ask you like this, yeah. From a business perspective, he's your most valuable asset, realistically, yeah. Let's say FSG was to sell up now. They need Salah to be there. They actually do. Because remember, you look
Oh, you
at
mean
assets.
if they're going to sell the whole club?
Yeah, let's just say, for example, they wanted to sell. But let's just say let's just say that they wanted to stay for another 10 years. They need Mohamed Salah there. I'm telling you, look, now, the only way Mohamed Salah leaves, in my opinion, is if there's like a gentleman agreement, or he literally forces his way out and he's like, listen, I don't want to sign a new deal. I don't see it, though, coming from FSG side, though, where we're going to play that Gino Wijnaldum gamble with you. They are not doing that with Mohamed Salah. He's too big to do that to. And I know we say no player is bigger than the club, and that is correct. But he's our biggest asset. You wouldn't do that with your biggest asset.
I hear that.
That's playing some serious Russian roulette, bro. But you see this Russian roulette that they're playing with? Instead of, yeah, go on.
Let me have the rest of the
Do you remember that stat that a quarter of the people watching the 17-18 Champions League final stopped watching when Salah got injured? You don't know about how big Salah is commercially. You know, it's a joke.
The FSG don't see it.
It's a joke. No, but that's why I think Cal's got a point, though, Matt. He's so big commercially, they might not want him to go just because of the allure of him being here. And I get that running it down is a really stupid thing because you don't get a transfer fee. But it depends how much money they make on him commercially a year, bro.
Yeah,
we're talking about the second biggest commodity in football,
bro. I hear it. I'm just saying it's
hence why Barca didn't get rid of Messi last season as well. Jeremy E says we don't have a big squad, decent wage structure, or owners that want to spend. Are we really a big club? That's going to be revealed in the summer, I reckon, bro. 2 Pixel 2, those cycles you mentioned are why Zlatan, CR7, so Cristiano Ronaldo, Xabi Alonso, they will go where they can win trophies, whichever league it is. Our rebuild took 10 years. That's very true as well. Gangan Deep says Salah is the face of Middle East, Arab and African sports world. His face was on the Burj Khalifa.
I know which one you're going to put up.
That would add a lot to his valuation.
I thought you were going to bring out that one. Sorry, I thought you were going to bring out this one.
Man, like KJ Brown was like, yeah, that was me. Locked off soon as Ramos did his thing. I was out. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Enough people locked out.
That's it. I love Kopish too, but it doesn't pay man's base stations. But what are you saying, mate? It's not pulling in enough for what you want to do, yeah?
Bro, Mr. Piss in the Wind, what are you saying? The subscription is high, yeah?
Right, the VPN as well. You can't just watch the subscription. You got the VPN as well.
Man's got to go chameleon mode.
Steven says, that's why I fear Mo being too big for us not to play him. I think that's the fear for everyone. Musa LFC, if it wasn't all about money, why did we get onto FSG? I think that's a different topic to what the contract situation. FSG own the club. So I think that when it comes, like, it's a different situation. But I get the notion of what you're getting at, Musa. Okay. Jay Finn, Drifty is not a married man. That was based off the comment of you saying that the family has got to go.
It's about your family having to give as well. It's not just, you know what I mean? It's a give and take, mate. It's a give and take.
For real.
Because if I'm not happy, but you lot are, then I'm the one who's going to be the moody bastard who comes home every day, and then it's still not going to be happy at home. So you got to find a common medium here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sam Max Legends. It's been a while, Sam Max Legend. Hope you're well. Main reason Salah will go Real Madrid is that alongside Barca, they are the two best supported clubs in the Middle East. Liverpool are not on the same level. That's a good shout as well.
I do not doubt how big Liverpool are in the Middle East, though.
No, but Barca and Real Madrid, they're different.
No, but I'm just saying, don't get twisted. Liverpool are huge in the Middle East, so I'm just saying.
To hear Koreshi, we need top players to accommodate strikers. Very true. True Finder says RIP Claude from FTV. Indeed, RIP. Shout out to Chris Brack. Hope you're well, bro.
Have you heard? Are you lot seeing in the comments that Jota's still on form? Yeah.
Has he scored 2 now? Because I saw
It looks like it, yeah.
Has he scored 2 people? Can you just put 1 or 2 in the chat, people? Just
and,
so I know.
And the people wanted Timo. Timo? Come on.
We say that with hindsight, Drew. We say that with hindsight.
No, you know what? This is one of the one and only times when I can say it's not hindsight for me, but fair enough.
Chris Brack says Salah is the cash cow for LFC on and off the pitch. P.S. When is his second leg? When is it? When is the second leg?
Each and every time, my brother. Jeez.
When is the second leg of the quiz versus LFC day trippers? We haven't got a date
Negotiations. Yet, we're working on it, people. Don't worry.
We haven't got a date yet, but what I will say is this.
You out here talking about a clique. The only clique you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker Hulk Hogan. We coming for you.
I should point out for the record, Stevie Ray, look at this. Take a look. We're talking.
That's our message to LFC day trippers. We're coming. We're coming.
Every time I see that. No, bro. No.
Musa LFC 21's asked a good question here. Isn't Genie doing this for money too?
No. See, it's really
a
difficult.
fair question, Driss. It is a fair question.
No. It's a fair question, but again, it comes down to the same thing like what me and Matt was talking about with the Mane thing. If it's true, Mane's on 105 and Salah's on 200. Appreciation within your own team, I completely understand when it becomes different. So even though I still agree, 75 grand a week is stupid money. Me personally, I strive for levels where I earn £75,000 a week. But if you are a mainstay, reason for success player in a team where everybody makes double what you make, then I can understand it's not greed because you're in the same cooperation. That's not Matt coming to me and being like, bro, they only pay you 20 at Tesco. But over at M&S, I get 30. You should come M&S. That's not the same. You get what I mean? But if me and Matt are having a drunk night out, so man's just getting a little loose with it, and we both work for Tesco, and Matt lets me know he earns 10 grand more than me, and we do the same job. I'm like, no, hold on a minute. I'm going to snap out of my high real quick, bro. I'm going to be like, no, hold on. What did you say, bro? And then in the morning, I'm going to ring you, and I'm going to be like, bro, do you know what you told me last night?
Yeah, for real.
You told me you're on, and did you know you was on more than me as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're coming with me to the HR, because we're going to sort this out.
Bro,
do you get what I mean? It's different.
Footballers talk. People seem to think as well. Obviously, it's very professional, but they're boys. They talk like how you would talk to your boy. If your boy said to you, "Oh, fam, you know I'm on the week," you're gonna be like, oh, "Okay, calm. Yeah, I'm on All right, cool." They talk innit. Genie Van Adam knows his worth, so I think he's definitely different when it comes to like the whole money thing. Genie Van Adam, in my opinion, is so badly underpaid. It's absolutely mad. People, think about his body of work. Think about when we signed him. Has he improved us? Yes, he has. Because do you want to go back to those dark days of Joe Allen, John Joe Shelby, and dare I even say it, Damien Plessis, and flipping, what's my guy from the cover of Bully on PlayStation 2, Jay Spearing? Do you want to go back to those dark days? Because I don't. Genie Van Adam was a stage.
Was Jay Spearing on the cover of Bully?
No.
I can answer that question for the fan base.
Oh, my bad.
Right, Cal, run a video, Cal. Run a video.
Yeah.
That man knows.
Please! Now!
I think that's the answer to your question, Matt. No, we don't
Bro,
want to go back to the days of Joe Allen and Jay Spearing.
Shout out all you man that play Bully on PS2. Go look at the person on the front cover of Bully. Tell me that's not Jay Spearing's doppelganger. Mad thing.
I certain man is saying it was a Neto Jota combo, Cal.
Straight up. Oh damn. We did it. What we saying? Only fans activated. No cap.
Can't say those things before watershed.
Alright, Cal, what we saying? Are we dropping a promo again?
Neto, we coming for you.
Cal, which one is it before we don't get in trouble? Is it the first or the second one?
It's the second one.
You out here talking about a clique. The only clique you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
I should point out for the record, Stevie Ray, look at this. Take a look. We're talking.
All right, big up to Mean Gene for keeping it going as well. Big up to Mean
Oh,
Gene.
Mean Gene, the legend, bro. Alright,
Big
and
up.
Booker T, and
Do you know
Booker
what
T's
scares
brother
me,
as
you
well.
lot?
Alright, yeah, go on.
I can actually see Neto going United, you know.
Oh,
Why drift, man?
Jesus.
I don't know. I just do. They've chased Sancho for so long and they'll get Neto for like 40, 50 mil
No,
cheaper.
Why would you
can't be.
say that?
I don't know, man. I'm worried about it.
Don't
Bro.
ever say to Matt again that he's peeing in the wind, bro. 'Cause right now, bro,
It's true. It's
you're out
true,
there
though.
in gale force, bro, just straight ahead, bro, just weeing right into the eye of the storm, bro, in a tornado, and expecting not to get wet. Absolute horror scenes, bro. Why'd you say that? Say that. Why? Just standing there, just holding his piece. Oh, oh,
Oh, no,
Oh.
Carl, you actually killed me,
the
bro.
wind and the water just kind of. Oh, oh. It's windy out, isn't it? Stop peeing then, bro. Getting your face and clothes wet, man. What are you doing, Drift, man? Flip's sake. Shut up.
Oh, oh,
50, man.
Oh,
Saying that.
oh,
You know you don't say things
I'm
like
actually done now. I'm actually done now.
No, you don't say things like that, Drifty. Come on, Drift, man.
I'm just
Oh,
scared,
man.
but I agree. I shouldn't have said it out loud.
I'm scared of
no.
Candyman, bro, but you ain't gonna catch me saying it in the mirror 3 times, are you, bro? Goodness me.
Listen, that's what it is. It is the way Cal said it. Cal said it like a teacher, you know. You don't do that. You just don't. You don't piss in the wind. You know better than that. Man. Oh man, no, I'm actually
Boy.
done.
All right, let me read out a couple more of these super chats. Bear with me, guys. Where are we? Drift, you've proper thrown me off. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I feel like we might need to cut another promo. We're coming for you.
I just can't believe Drifty did that. Here we go. So LFC Aaron says, guys, do you remember when the Shopmaster made his debut in WCW? Yeah, I do remember that.
When who?
Helmet fell off and everything. Shopmaster. You got to Google it if you ain't seen it.
Who's that?
He was basically promoted for weeks, bro. Meant to be this next big thing.
Yeah.
And he came out and he just buckled and it just fell off for him like real quick. You weren't seen again. It was hilarious, bro.
Oh man.
Sam Max Legend says, big up lads, crazy. Been working crazy, including weekends. Love the shows. Kept me going at the nights. Drift 100% lived in Dubai 10 years ago. LFC is huge. With Mo even bigger. Yeah, try not to work too hard though, Sam. Life comes first, bro. Life comes first. Khalil Hassan, we should get Neto, Kabak, and a 40 mil centre back, no problem, and a striker. I'll add and a striker to that. All right. So before we go, a couple more things. Salah's not the only player who's got 2 years left on his contract. In fact, I'm going to read off a list of players now, and this is quite alarming when we break it down, but we're going to see if there's a trend going on here and if we should be concerned. Other players with 2 years left on their contract: Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, Naby Keita, Jordan Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri, and Bobby Firmino. And that leads me nicely onto Bobby Firmino as well, who's apparently been linked to Atletico Madrid. So for this part of the show, guys, I'm going to let you guys speak about this. And I'm just going to sit here, put some music in my ears, and just think of a happier time. Go for it.
All right,
the wickedest thing
first.
is, I think this is an extremely bad idea, whichever way you look at it. Because it's all about squad. And if we let Firmino go, it's like with Mo. It's a backward step. The point we're supposed to do is we're supposed to replace him with a striker who can take us forward, but he's still in the squad and he's still at the club because he's still more than capable of contributing, and he's still a top-class player.
Yeah.
We just don't want him to be our striker anymore. So what worries me is the value of the player that I'm reading. Now, I'm reading 55 million euros, which is something like 47 million pounds or something like that. If I'm being completely honest with you, 100% FSG grabbed that. 100% FSG grabbed that. They will look at a player who is 29. We realize we need to replace in the team, and they won't think of the squad. They'll just think they can take that 55 euro and put that towards whatever the player is that we're replacing with. Because as we know, under FSG, we never think about squad. We only ever think about first 11. And that's what's got us in the predicament we're in this season. Do you get what I'm saying?
Chris Brack shouts. Chris Brack.
Was it pound? Oh, well, if it's pound, it makes it even worse because it's more money. Do you get what I mean? So FSG that's more likely FSG will want it. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm worried that do you know what worries me more than anything, you lot? Honestly, is that the way Jota's playing, they won't even think we need an actual first 11 player. They'll just say to Klopp, play Jota through the middle where Firmino used to play, and then they'll get some kind of Minamino level of guy to come in and add to the squad. Do you get what I mean? That's what worries me, guys. I'll be honest with you. That's what worries me. We had to play 2 seasons with Firmino, Mane, and Mo. With no backup. We had to do it for 2 seasons.
Apparently, Liverpool put the price on him. Apparently, the ring.
I'm not having another Minamino.
That is literally me,
bro. I'm gonna be real. Minamino, at the time, we thought was going to be a very good signing. Shrewd. He's worth more than 7 mil. I'll say that. So we did get him at a decent price. But if we're thinking about improving the squad and taking us to the next level, I'm gonna be real. What Drift said really irks me because, and what he's saying isn't his personal opinion. He's just talking about Liverpool might look at Jota, which is true, and be like, you don't need a striker. But this is how I will see it. If Jurgen Klopp is the manager and they fully trust him, they can't tell Jurgen Klopp which players to play, and they can't tell him where best he fits. That's where I will be like, there has to be a breakdown in communication. Because Jurgen Klopp will say to them, I don't care what you lot say. He's my left wing forward. If I need a striker, you get me a striker. If I need a defender, you get me. You don't tell me what I need. I'm telling you.
So, you know, if they shot Bobby, Klopp might go, you know.
I'm going to be real.
Klopp, I'm going
to be real. For all the Bobby haters out there that think he's done, I'm going to say this. The grass ain't always greener. And it's not because Bobby Firmino's even in a decline or nothing like that. And that, we can definitely get something better. I'm just going to say this. He's 29 years old. We know what he can do. All it is that he's just not a clinical striker. That's just what it is. He's not a clinical striker. Are we going to all sit down and say he's not a good player because he's a good player? It's just that there's so much pressure on him to score goals, especially when the other two don't score goals. He gets highlighted. And I know Bobby hasn't had his best season. Maybe his best last 2 seasons haven't been that great. But let's not sleep on the fact that he's a good player. And I'm telling you for now, if we was to lose Bobby Firmino, then we go and bring in some next man from wherever, you men are going to be start thinking, you know what, we should have kept Bobby. And it's not because of like, I'll stick to what you know. It's because I actually genuinely feel like he still has quality. It's just that it's not in the number 9 role. That's all it is, in my opinion.
And do you know what? Do you know something else, Matt? Because you know you're saying about it's not that he's in the decline. I think when you're a player who doesn't rely on pace, you're a commodity the older you get, because your decline will be a lot slower than other players. Yeah. And the fact that he doesn't rely on pace is even more why he's the type of player you keep around. Do you get what I mean? Like when you think about like Oxlade-Chamberlain, for example, I worry about the man when he turns 30 because I'm worried about him in his 20s. Do you get what I mean?
100.
But when you look at somebody like Firmino, you think
he's
he can play till he's about 36, 37. Like he doesn't rely on any form of real athleticism, if you get what I mean. Like as you get older, your skill doesn't go. And Bobby is a skill player. Like he's a skillful player. That's what his game is about.
Graceful.
At 29, he's nowhere near over the hill. Nowhere near over the hill.
He's just gone into his peak and people are acting like, because he hasn't scored goals. And again, I'm not going to say he hasn't had a bad season, but let's be real, people. There's not many people, in my opinion, this season that can hold their head up high and say they've had a good season. We just had a bad season as a club. As a club. And that's why I kind of feel like let's try our hardest not to judge people this season. And I'm even talking about Kabak here. I'm going to be real. When you deep it, Liverpool, like in this whole bubble thing, as a club, we just haven't done well. So these circumstances that we're in have been very, very harsh. So people that, especially that have credit in the bank, like Firmino, let's not judge them this season, please. Because let's be real. Bobby Firmino in a Liverpool team that's full strength or close to full strength, and he plays a 10, and maybe Jota's playing up front, he plays better than what he's playing now. That's what I believe. I still think there's quality there, in my opinion. I
just want him coming off the bench and doing what he did against PSG. Remember when he came off the bench against PSG? That's what we need. We need a guy who we've got quality on our bench, and we can go and start attacking some of these domestic trophies because we've got players that we can play.
100%. When you listen, Bobby Firmino is someone that, if he can't start for you because you're worried about, maybe, let's just say for argument's sake, he's declined a little bit, but let's just say, he's on your bench. Are you really going to complain? Because I'm going to be real, people. Do you want, let me not even use his name because we was arguing about him yesterday, but do you want Roberto Firmino on your bench or some other guy? No, I'm just saying some other guy. Some next guy. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? On that, I want everyone who was proper, like, pro him. No, this is just a question. Everyone who was pro him yesterday, because we got a lot of stick, even though we weren't being disrespectful, we're just trying to say there's levels. I want everybody to let me know now who's pro him. If he comes in as the replacement to Salah, how do you feel about it? That's all I want to know. Just a quick question. Survey thing. Quick question.
Buster Daka to replace Salah?
Yeah, quick. I'm just doing a survey, innit?
No, dude, don't try to make me laugh. No, allow it.
I'm just doing a survey, bro. That's all I'm doing. Quick survey. Because he got so much love yesterday. I want to know how people feel if Mo gets shotted and he's the replacement. It's just a quick question. That's it.
It's quality, remember? Banging in goals in the Austrian league. He's quality.
And then I'll ask the same question.
He's quality.
Drifty's already opened that can of worms now. Would you be happy with him replacing Firmino?
No, not me personally. No,
but I'm asking people in the chat.
Not me personally. No.
Dinesh says, Drift for saying Neto might be going to United. You need to do a forfeit, have a clean shave. That's nothing to. Look, I'll be real with you.
A clean
having a clean shave. His beard right now is probably about 7 minutes.
No. Do you know what a real forfeit is? Do you know what a real forfeit is? And Drift will never do this. A real forfeit is
me picking everything. That's
do you know what a forfeit is for Drift? And he will never do it. 100%. He would have to let the sides of the hair grow. 6
do a
weeks.
Paul Heyman.
You must be off your rocker, mate.
Or what's my man from Tekken? Is it Paul Phoenix where he's just got the sack like or no? What's the guy's name in Tekken?
The Kimbo.
Where's this got the side bit?
You must be out your mind.
But this is what I'm saying.
Like, the internet's forever, you know.
Bro, people are telling me like,
you ain't catching me slipping like I'm in the 70s. You must be out your mind.
Man said, "Hey Arnold," and that, you know, "Hey Arnold."
Drift, I've got a question for you. First and foremost, big up Dave LFC chats. I think I saw him in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe to him on YouTube. Great channel he's building.
My client.
So someone in the comments, I'm not going to mention their names, but they know who they are. Has asked, do you think we should sell Mane? And before, I'm going to add some context to it. Drift, this is for you.
I can't even kiss my teeth loud enough.
All right. His pace looks like he's gone down. Yes, he's tired, but he looks like he could potentially be at the start of a decline.
Sorry, no.
Could we potentially cash in on him this summer? Or should we? Or are we being a bit too nostalgic with Mane? In the same way I've probably been a bit nostalgic with Firmino. So the person who's asked me to ask this question, you know who you are.
I'm not even going to dignify that question with a response.
Well, the person who's asked me to ask that, if something happens to me, it's on you. That's all I'll say. I hope you can live with that guilt if something bad.
I saw the question. I know who it is. I know who it is. I saw it.
Let me just quickly, just yes or no, back to you two. Would you lot sell Mane this summer?
No.
Okay.
Please! No!
That's how I feel about Mane. I ain't selling Mane right now, fam. I'm gonna be real. If Mane was sold,
when I said you know, I thought man was gonna go another way, you know.
Nah, I just trying to buy time to put in the video. I was trying to buy time to put in the video.
Gangan Deep. Bobby's form has dipped past 18-24 months. Goals aside, passing, movement in the box. I like him, but I only want him in a 4-4-2 diamond or 4-2-3-1. If Klopp doesn't play with a 10, is there much benefit to keeping him? It's a very, very fair question.
Can you not rotate in a 9 if he's not?
No.
I you know what I'll say, Gangan Deep. What I'll say to the decline thing. I'll say the only reason why I think that he's declining in that respect is you can run somebody into the ground and he just needs like a full recharge. And I feel like playing in the number 10 will give him that recharge. If you're playing in the number 9 and you're just being asked to super press all the time, you're not regressing, you're just knackered. You know what it's like?
Yeah.
That adrenaline dump, and you're just like that. Them 2 seasons was like all action, and now the man's just exhausted. If you play him in the number 10 where he doesn't have to do all of that, you'll see a reinvigorated player. I'm telling you, you would.
Can I ask you this, yeah? I'll say this as well, Drew. This has arguably been Mane's worst season for Liverpool. He signed in 2016, yeah? So that means he's been on a on a tear. Also, why do people automatically assume that when you hit 29, like you're in some type of decline?
I don't know, bro.
And here's the thing. I know some people have said Mane's pace, whatever. You do realize, like, when burnout, and when you're that athletic, burnout is a big thing, especially for athletic people. It will show. So, say, for example, your pace is a 10 out of 10, but you drop to an 8.5, it will show because that burnout is so severe to you because your athleticism is so right. So you're expecting Mane to blow past every single player. I just think it's a case of this season and compared to last season where there was no gap, and I know other teams have gone for the same thing, but they don't play the same style that we play. Let's be real, people. When it comes to the gegenpress and all that and counter pressing, we've done that arguably for the last 3 years. People must be tired. Like, let's be real, people. If Mane was still banging 25 goals and Salah hit another 40, and every man was still, would actually be like, these men are actually not human, but they are human. That's the whole point. So they were always going to have a drop off. But I'm just hoping again, and maybe I'm wrong, but next season they recharge and go again. And I think we revisit that conversation next season. Because again, I just feel like this season, these men have been running to look at it, the amount of injuries that we've had that they've had to just continue playing. And I'm not saying that's not Klopp's. Some of it is not Klopp's fault, but I don't know, man.
And you know
There's
what?
a-
Yeah,
there's a-
watching the documentary,
Yeah, you said it, Sean.
after watching the documentary about I can't remember her name. She's a TV presenter, and her husband caught the virus, and he's been in hospital ever since, and like it completely debilitated him to the point where like they think that he might have to live in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. It was really sad watching the documentary, but what it did was it made me realize maybe we have downplayed the fact that some of our players have caught it. Like maybe we do have to like, because you know, a lot of the time we're just like, oh yeah, they've got better, boom, boom, boom. Maybe he is feeling the effects of it. You don't know, you know, because he did have it. There's quite a few players in our squad who have had it, and it could be playing a part in why they're not playing that well this season. You can't just dismiss it. You can't.
No, it can't.
Because everyone has been affected by the virus so differently that you just can't, like, is it a coincidence that the season that and remember, he was actually on form till he got it. If you look at the beginning of the season, he was on form. And then when he came back, that's when you can't just dismiss it. You can't.
LSD Aaron, sell Firmino for 50 mil and bring in Depay for free and sign Neto.
Cal, that's for you, bruv, because that's literally like me saying I'm going to take away your chair and chair, but I'm going to give you a Krispy Kreme. I don't really know if you're going to say yes or no, bro.
You man in the sweet send that for real. What you saying, Cal?
Well, not even me anymore. Remember, I'm dieting, boys. I couldn't tell you the last time.
What would the old you say?
What would the old you say?
What would the old you say?
You're in the old stone. No, I'm not trading Bobby. I believe in having a squad. So
no, but the viewer saying Depay and Neto, which means that your squad is.
Oh, the bomber! What I'm to? No, on the real, Look, I actually see a lot of people taking up that deal because it maybe it does make sense, but for me, I prefer to keep Bobby and add one of those players as opposed to
basically what he said, Cal. He said you've come in, you've got your stew, chicken, and rice, but it's like, do you want a dumpling, or no? Sorry, do you want a saltfish fritter to go with it, or do you want a dumpling and a side of plantain? And now you got to now you got to make your mind up, bro.
Is it boiled or fried?
No, but do you know how I see?
Because it's stew chicken, it will be a fried dumpling.
Cal, what do you prefer? Now, Cal, what do you prefer? Yeah, all right, jerk chicken or stew chicken?
I'll be honest with you. You guys aren't really helping me with my diet by speaking about food.
No. But on the real, what do you prefer? What do you prefer? Because me,
what do I? So jerk or stew? Did you say?
Yeah, jerk or stew.
Jerk.
Same here. So Bobby Firmino's your jerk chicken, innit? But what they're trying to say is, all right, you're giving away your jerk chicken, and they're saying, do you want a stew chicken with a little bit of coleslaw?
I'm gonna just eat the jerk and then come back an hour later still. That's what I'm gonna do. Did you already have a plate? Nah, I don't think so. I've just come. Oh, I thought you were the one giving the speech at the beginning. Me? No, that wasn't.
That means you was there passing your line from beginning.
Yeah, I think there's a couple brothers in there with high tops. It must have been one of them. But yeah, can I get some of that stewed chicken, please? that's what I do.
Extra coleslaw. Yeah.
You know, Matt, because you've got a sensitive stomach, Matt, I'm quite surprised you prefer jerk to stew still, because the jerk causes problems and you got them belly problems, bro.
Bro, you see jerk chicken,
it's a risk worth taking.
That's no. Bro, you see when I'm at a barbecue,
stew all day.
When I'm at a barbecue, I ain't taking no risk, bro.
But I'm gonna be real. Too much TMI, yeah. But my belly can handle jerk chicken, innit? Like, but I'm gonna be real. If it goes past that point, then yeah, we might have a problem. But nah, bro, jerk chicken all day, bro.
Shout out to Ace Industries. Removing either one of the front three to add to it is 1 minus 1 plus 1 equals 1. Hashtag quick maths. Shout out to Tony for your super chat. Khalil Hassan says, when was the last time we had a very good French player? Plus reports coming out, Kanai entourage are telling him to wait for other clubs. The last good French player we had was Fakir, to be honest.
Hold on a minute. What was that rumor going around that he's already had a medical today?
Yes, that's what we were just going to speak about. So apparently he has, but again,
the entourage is saying, all right, so this is what's happened apparently, reported.
Sorry, Kadir, it's been a while, bro.
Reportedly, he's had his medical. The entourage kind of didn't say yes or no, but they said, nothing's been signed, nothing's been done. So, what
would the medical be about? What would be the point in giving him a medical 3 months before we?
Do you know what it is? When you've had a medical,
I think Upamecano's done the same with Bayern now. I'm guessing.
Bro, when you've had a medical, that says to me that it's nearly done. Apparently, listen, there's a lot of people that have been saying for a while, maybe last couple of days now since the news is broke, that he is close, but nothing's really going to get announced just now. Remember, Leipzig, they still got their season to finish and they just lost Upamecano, so they're not exactly just going to announce like Konate's done. So they're going to say things like, for example, one of the directors come out and said, "Right, why would he want to leave when he's so important?" Well, the man has a release clause, so if we want to get him, we just take him. It's got nothing to do about what you think. If you want to take him, we take him. But it's like,
guys, you know the only thing that worries me about signing Konate is we know that our club is very, very strict with our transfer budget.
Stop doing this stuff.
No. And when you pay a release clause,
into the hurricane and you just
I'm not
gonna take a dump and hope that you fly back on my eyeball.
Listen, let me land.
You're not peeing in the wind. You're peeing on your trainers now, bro.
When you pay a release clause, you're not allowed to do it in installments, and that worries me because we're an installment club and we operate well by installments. So if you think about 40 million coming out of our budget, that worries me.
All right, here's the thing.
You know, from now on, Drift, a little bit of advice for me. If you're gonna wee on the floor, at least aim it in it. That's all I'm saying. At least aim it, bro. Have some respect for your environment.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Drift thought he could take a dump in the bushes and think that no one will see him, fam. Yeah. There's a hurricane and there's broad daylight, fam. Like, you're not gonna get away with it.
People are beeping as they.
You didn't even see me in the dark, bro. I'd never shit in the
bush. all the while, people will see you. You're light skinned. Like, you know what I'm saying? They will see you. I'm gonna say
glow in the dark shit in the bush. No, thanks.
Listen, bro. Some people take chances, innit? I don't know.
Tony said,
"You been eating corn."
Tony says, "Not adding up to the Champions League was diabolical. The Champions League win, indeed, it was."
Hey, Messi, LeBron.
Hey, LeBron, you seeing this? We've been driving up the highway.
They say corn. I think they mean cornbread. I don't think they mean cornbread, LeBron.
Come look at this. Brother out there just pulling in the bush. It's luminous. What he been eating? Damn, LeBron. Damn. That's crazy.
Hey, do you know what? Speaking of Illuminous, do you know when I realized I had to stop drinking Nourishment? When it actually used to make my piss Illuminous.
That's a lot of
TMI, fam. Pause.
That is a lot of information to take.
Nourishment is not the one, I'm telling you, bro.
All right, neither is a McDonald's milkshake, but we move still.
Chocolate McDonald's milkshake, bro. That's
brother.
The one. I wish I could.
23 years old.
I don't drink milkshake.
Allow it, brother.
I tell you what you need to do. And I shouldn't even be giving them this promo. But when Tinseltown opens back up, the Ferrero Rocher milkshake is actually to die for. It is actually to die for. I don't
like milkshakes. I don't like milkshakes.
I used to like milkshakes.
I don't really know what you're saying right now, bro. But Ferrero Rocher Tinseltown milkshake, I'm telling you, when you do it, come back and thank me for introducing
that's too much,
into your life.
Knowing you, that's too much rumble in the belly thing, fam. That's
if you can handle dairy, obviously. You have to be able to handle dairy.
Yeah, I should hope so.
I'm gonna be real.
You gotta handle dairy, you should be nowhere near that.
Bro, your belly must be looking at you like, Duh! What do you think is gonna happen? Come on now. Imagine that. Me having a milkshake.
But I'm gonna clip that out. That's my new favorite.
Nah, allow it.
That's my new
You should have said it off screen because now everyone's gonna cut it up. Now there's gonna be a new one in stream
I'm gonna
going.
cut it out. Straight after the show, I'm cutting it up. I'm gonna cut it out. I might have just send it to the missus if she annoys me as well.
So hold on, Cal, just quickly. You don't like hot drinks either, innit?
No.
Cal don't like hot drinks and he don't drink milkshake. That's a mazza.
That's almost. Listen. All right, I'm gonna be real.
I told you, man. What do I drink? I only need one concoction in my fridge. I'm
gonna be real though, Cal. I didn't want to say, but Drift went there, so I'm gonna say this. I don't understand you don't have hot drink, like no peppermint tea, fam. No, I don't know. And that's like an old man here when I say peppermint tea, but even like.
Look, so I'll be honest with you. Right now, when I wake up, I have half a glass of apple juice. And before I go to bed, I have half a glass of apple juice, and it's water for the rest of the day. But
what? No, but hold on. So you're using the apple juice to like you see me. I'm gonna be real, people. Yeah, you see me.
I'm using like mouthwash. get the morning breath out of my system. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah.
Bro, apple juice is not a good idea.
I was gonna say
apple juice or morning breath does not go.
You see me and Drift. No. What I was gonna say is me and Drift here. Let me be real. Let's say, for example, I wake up on my stomach's like doing it's making that noise where it's like my stomach's getting mad. Yeah, mum have the peppermint tea to line the stomach in it. You're telling me you have apple juice to line your stomach?
Yeah.
No, your stomach is. Let me commend your stomach. Your stomach is different, granite. Because you see my belly had apple juice in the morning. Drift knows, man. If I had apple juice in the morning, I'd be like, "Oh, you man."
Yeah, no. When I wake up in the morning,
I can't be on the stream for 3 days.
When I wake up in the morning, my stomach will make the decision for me. Are you having orange juice with your breakfast or a cup of tea? And if the rumbling's happening, it's got to be the cup of tea. It has to be. I don't know how you can't drink hot drink in the morning, Cal. That's mad.
I need a hot drink, you know.
Yeah, you have to settle the belly, bro. It's mad.
Sorry, I know the comment on the screen. Jason Industries, Edwards will make Leipzig play the release clause. That's jokes.
I don't know what you're gonna bring
up. Shout out to 2 Pixel 2 when Cal falls and smells like an apple.
How you gonna bear that one?
Sir, just quickly, shout out to TK. Man said it. Man knows it's not just me. I'm so glad someone else. Nourishment, I'm telling you, it does it.
It scared me to rotted, you know.
It's real. I was like, yo, I gotta stop drinking this thing, man. It's a madness.
I used to drink it when I was younger, but obviously, my belly can't handle that. Nourishment.
I was working for Mr. Burns and that.
Edward says, however, the installments for VVD, Ali, Fab from 2018 should be done now. Thus, shouldn't be a problem to renew their contracts, hopefully. Cal, are you water fasting? Great way to lose weight. I don't know what water fasting is.
I think that's all you have. You don't really.
Yeah, literally just water.
All right. So I tell you what I've eaten today, which is why I'm struggling just in life in general right now. So I had a bowl of fruit. So 2 cups of fruit, mixed fruit, and then I had 2 fillets of salmon, and I've had a brunch bar, and then before I go to bed, I'm gonna have salad and turkey meatballs.
That's not even the baddest. That ain't the worst day.
Where's the food?
Drift, I had 2 fillets of fish to hold me down since I woke up.
I'm gonna be real. You man know me. I'll be finished.
I'm 6 foot, Drift. My little one's eating more than me today.
No, but how big were the fillets though?
But they're just normal fillets, bro.
They're fillets, bro.
I ain't hunting the fish, bro.
No, but come on, man. When it comes to a salmon fillet, you can get a really little slim one, or you can get a big one. It depends how big the fillet was.
Bruv, I'm getting it from Iceland, bro. I ain't got bird's eye on tap, bro. Like, I can't just ring man and be like, hey, you out on shore at the moment? Grab me a fillet, please, bro. I ain't got his number, bro. I can't.
I know, yeah. Because remember, I love salmon. there are different levels of salmon fillet. So I'm just asking you what type
I'm
of.
gonna
But
be
now you
real.
said
If
Iceland.
he said
I know
four,
the size
if he
you're
said
dealing.
four,
Yeah.
if he said four, then we're moving. If we're saying
Yeah.
two, we're not there yet.
I don't listen to you when it comes to food, bro. You told me that you were grabbing a quick snack and you went five guys, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Matt, when was it the other day we were speaking to Matt, innit? Yeah, no, guys, I'm struggling today. And I was like, oh, what's that? I was hungry, brother. So what have you eaten today? Yeah, man, I had a large naked burrito. I had a sausage roll from Greg's. I just had a snack as well. And I was like, brother, it's 2:00. How are you hungry, brother, for eating all that? How are you hungry?
That's what I'm saying, bro. This man is a different beast.
No, but you might not understand.
Apples and peanut butter.
I gave up. I gave up on trying to keep up with Matt when we were out on road, and he told me, "Yeah, I'm a little bit peckish, Drift. Let me just grab a quick snack." And I was like, "Ah, cool." And he went into Five Guys and bought a meal, bro. That is not a snack.
Yeah, no, but that's when I was training.
Matt's the sort of brother that get banned
no
from all you can eat, bro. He's the sort of man that get banned.
No, I've slimmed down bare since lockdown. I haven't. Listen, I'm gonna be real. I don't eat as much.
Matt, you're an animal, bro.
You're lying,
bro. I don't eat as much.
Do you know what he told me? He told me
that if you skip one snack a day now.
I had a cup of tea and toast for breakfast one time, yeah. And his exact words were, "What's the point?" He actually said to me, "What is the point?"
I was on a Brock Lesnar team back then. Don't listen to me. I was on a different wave. Like, you see my breakfast.
You've got some nerve, bro. You got some nerve.
Shout out, my boy Cleve. Yeah, one of my closest boys. We know, obviously Jiffy them as well. Yeah, bro. When I managed to get breakfast, I used to go to the cafe or whatever and get, like, for example, a fry up, and then I don't know, like. But this is when I was training. When I was training, I was on some different type of like mentality. Man was just eating, and do you know what I mean? But you see now, like, okay, see today, for example, today all I've had is, let me think, what did I have for lunch? So for lunch I had.
Here we go.
Actually, now let me not even say what
people in the comments, check this out.
All right, let me not even say lunch.
And Matt's the type of guy that has breakfast, lunch, and brunch.
All right, for lunch I had soup, 2 chicken Kievs, some pasta, and
hold on, for lunch.
A man wants to moan. Oh, that's
no, but the Kievs are economy. They're economy.
What is what? That's one meal. Man said 3 different. He's had a 3-course lunch, basically.
No, but
I'm saying.
No, but I'm trying to put back on the weight though. Like, bro, you man don't understand. Like,
man's had a 3-course lunch.
Nah, don't allow me.
You're fibbing, bro. You're lying on the stream, bro. We're not gonna let you just say it, bro. You're lying. You're telling fibs, bro.
All right, these man, don't let them have me like this. You know, these men are lying,
cool.
bro.
Cool.
Certain man have soup for dinner. Man had it for breakfast, bro.
Oh man.
Nisa says, I know this is out of topic, but who's a funnier combo? Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, Rush Hour, or Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, Bad Boys? Big up, lads. Oh, I gotta go Willing. Martin.
Yeah. I've got to go Will and Martin. But Rush Hour's the one.
Rush Hour close though. Rush Hour close. Yeah, it's close though.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Like stuff like that. That Rush Hour is timeless. Rush Hour.
You know what I realized. Actually, my missus made me realize it when I was watching I Am Legend, is that Will Smith is just my guy. That's just my guy. Like,
he doesn't get the recognition.
I don't think we're gonna appreciate Will Smith until, God forbid, he's gone.
Facts.
We're not. We're talking about one of the biggest legends to do it. And I don't think he gets the appreciation. I don't. Man's all become a meme in that now.
Entertainment. Take out race, take out whatever. Take out everything.
Jada did him dirty still. That's Will's fault, though. I'm not gonna lie, that's Will's fault, bro. That is Will's fault, bro. Like, I'm sorry. If I know my missus is doing a thing with another man, you think I'm coming on Kopish to speak to her about it? Come on, man. Do me a favor. That's Will's fault. I'm sorry. I have no sympathy there.
Yeah, because his face was like, no, do you know what it was? It was almost like she said, right, we're going to have a conversation. We might go into a little bit. And he was like, all right, cool. But when the questions were actually read out, he was like, What?
I'm sorry, but Matt, if my missus says, Cal, we need to have a conversation, and then I see her go over to 2 camera setups and switch on and on, I'm saying the conversation's done. What are you doing? Like, it's done. We're not speaking on camera. You speak to me now or you
She literally says to you, yeah, Cal, this isn't a members vid. It's going to go public to the world. Just to let you know, Cal. It's not a members vid. You're going to be like, what? What are you talking about? I thought this is like some secluded thing. What? So I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
She brings me on Kopish. Do you prefer me or apple juice, Cal? I don't know. Oh my God, babe, you've caught me off guard with that one. No, I'm not getting quiet like that, man. I ain't getting quiet. That was Will's fault. That was Will's fault. LeBron. Khalil says Sepp, Matip, Nat for Kanate, Shaq, Taki, Origi, Ojo for Neto, Gruich, Wilson, Ox for Nehus, 120 mil this summer. All right, Khalil, FSG and Edwards might be calling you up unless you are Edwards in disguise. And if you are Michael Edwards, I could do if you negotiate my new car insurance coming up. So if holler if you can, please. I could do with a discount on that.
People are getting ham in the chat about my diet.
Yeah, well, I don't blame him, Matt.
No, but Troy, the thing is, you men are making it bigger than what it is.
You're making it smaller than what it is, bro. That's
no. It's not.
You know what? Yeah, I know what Matt's like. I know Matt. Like every time it was little man's feeding time, Matt would be like, I'll do it. Man, cool. It's nice. Do you want some? Well, you know what? It's nice. You know, I know man was eating little man's food. 100%.
Did he eat it all? Yeah. It's all finished.
No, you man are killing me out here.
100%.
Oh my
100%. That's why man's laughing, because man knows how many thrusts did little man actually get.
No, do you know you men are doing me dirty,
man,
bro.
just eating his fish fingers, bro. Drinking his cactus, man.
Harry, what's that over there?
Yeah.
No, you know, styling. Let Daddy make sure it's not too hot. Let Daddy make sure it's not too hot.
Why is there 2 spoons in Curry's bowl? I just got a teaspoon and Kyrie's little baby spoon in.
Teaspoon? Man, I'll get the tablespoon.
Troy M. If the Fakir links are true, I'm not gonna lie, I'm all for that one again. Yeah, same here. Dado 1, glad to see Miocic is recovering okay in hospital. He's still in hospital.
Huh? I'm not surprised, bro.
Can't be. He can't still be in hospital.
Let's just clarify this. They actually tested man's power, yeah, and Francis Ngannou hits as hard as a Ford Escort doing full speed. I repeat, he hits at 98 horsepower.
All right. I'm gonna read
if
out.
Man's still in hospital, I understand, innit?
I'm gonna quickly read these super chats and then I'm gonna break some news for you guys. So Kieran Thorne, Liverpool ins, Gertruda. I've never heard that player. Konate, Klesika, Aor.
I've never heard of that.
Mbappe and Marlon. The big out will be Sadio Mane. Oh, don't say that. We've drifted around. Gangandeep says, Matt, don't worry, food is life. For Matt, it is definitely. For Matt, it is.
Look, man, did a dance, bruv. You know he's the man at the buffet.
No. You got to appreciate. But again, I'm not. I'm not greedy. I don't want this perception that I'm greedy. I'm not.
No, you're not
guy.
greedy. You just eat a lot, bro.
I don't even eat a lot, bro.
Matt,
honestly,
you're doing it again, bro.
Matt, food is not your friend. It's not your friend,
bro.
Gertruda is a right back for Vinewood. I'll check him out. Look, I didn't want to do this on a stream. I didn't even want to say this behind closed doors. Francis Ngannou, we've got to have a chat, yeah? I'm going to be real and just say it. He's fake. He's not real. Let me ask you and break this down for me, yeah? Have you ever seen any children's pictures of Francis Ngannou? Answer the question. No, serious. Answer the question. Have you ever
Do you
seen
know
any
what?
kids' pictures?
I've seen him Ghana, yeah, before he was training. And what's so mad
That's
is that
not what I asked, Matt. Have you seen any pictures of him? Have you seen any pictures of him as a child? That's my question. You haven't. Okay, that's my first question. Was there any recollection, or had anyone ever heard about Ngannou before he turned up at UFC?
No.
Do you know any of his previous opponents before he fought in the UFC? Have any of them come forward and said, I'm the one that fought Ngannou before he made it big? No, they haven't, have they? You might have heard of Area 51, innit? There you go. There's your answer. You cannot tell me that a man walks around and has to cut weight to heavyweight, even though he's already shredded, and hits as hard as a vehicle moving at full speed, and sit here and tell me that he's real. Do me a favor. Have you ever seen Ngannou bleed? Have you ever seen Ngannou bleed? Seriously, have you?
For real, I've only seen him get tired, you know.
Bro, nobody gets close enough to make him bleed.
I'm gonna be real.
Stipe did in the first fight. And do you know what? Do you know what he did? And shout out to Ngannou, because this is how smart the guy is. Ngannou lost that first fight on purpose. Lost on purpose. Created a narrative. Oh, I got gassed out. I was tired. My power left me. And now look. Oh, it's a massive comeback. He has new coaches, and he's learned from these coaches and come back and change his strategy. Yeah, well done, Francis. You pulled the wool over many people's eyes, but not mine. He is not real. He's not real.
What we're saying, we call him man Kal-El from now on, because
he's got vibranium in his body, bruv. He ain't real. He's not real.
Hey, you know what? The other day, yeah, my brother asked me if I would do one round with him for 100 million, and I said to him, to be honest with you, after the fight, I wouldn't be. I'd only be doing it for my loved ones.
Yeah, it's a legacy.
and you know what? If I was doing it, man, then would be asking me why I'm not doing any bag work, any boxing, why am I only doing running? No, because that's all I'm going to be doing for 5 minutes.
Do you know what's scary?
That's all I'll be doing, running.
Do you know what's scary about Ngannou? Obviously, before Stipe got knocked out, Stipe actually hit him with a clean right, you know. And I know Stipe was hurt, but you know, sometimes like when you're kind of like, I don't know, on your last kind of breath or whatever, or last like throw or whatever, them fighters can still hit hard when they give their last bang.
Stipe sleeps people.
Bruv.
Stipe weighs 240 pounds and looks small.
Listen, Stipe gave him one right bang as he was a little bit wary, but the bang was hard, bruv. Ngannou didn't flinch and carried on walking forward like nothing happened. Like there's nothing.
Bob, have you seen the reverse angle? Have you seen the reverse angle?
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna be real. All jokes aside, if I gave someone my hardest bang and you literally just walked past me and just like smiled, I'd actually run away. Because I'm gonna be real, it doesn't matter how strong or weak you are, if you give someone your strongest bang and they walk through it like nothing ever happened, you best run. That's not real. I'm gonna be real, Cal. That's an alien.
Matt, when Stipe hit him, Ngannou looked back at him and said, "Oh, so you want to fight back? Okay."
Oh, Cal, have you seen the reverse angle? Have you seen the reverse angle? When Stipe hit him with that bang, yeah, he closed his eyes for a second and opened them and went, "Oh, you fucking had it, bro."
He's like, wonderful. That's what he said. Wonderful. I like a challenge. He's Black Thanos, bro. He's Black Thanos, and he don't need no glove. Like he's just Black Thanos.
Man's got all the Infinity Stones stored in his. I don't even know.
Shout out to Saint LFC TV. Make sure you guys subscribe to him as well. Great Liverpool channel. Shout out to Welford TV as well. Guys, shout out Welford TV. Go subscribe to his channel as well. I'm gonna be real with you. I was speaking to shout out to a couple people, so Imran and Saint while the fight was happening, and all of our reactions were the same. We were just like, wow. That's not human. But as I said, we can't just get fixated on what he's doing. You have to look at his backstory, and he hasn't got one. So therefore, he was created somewhere, and he is here now, isn't it? So,
there's one picture of Ngannou from back in the day where he's like, he looks. So what he looks like, you know, when in Avengers where you've got the picture of Steve Rogers.
yeah,
When remember Steve Rogers, everyone remembers when he was like,
that's exactly what he looks like, but
bro,
you're right.
There's this one picture when Ngannou's back at home, yeah, and he looks like just a normal guy. And then you look at him now and you're like, what the hell? But okay, cool, because you can work in it, you can work out. But here's the thing about Ngannou. Ngannou looks like he's the type of guy that he doesn't even look like he needs to work out hard. Like he just needs to just be in condition. So
Matt, what are you not hearing? He's got to cut weight to make heavyweight.
Yeah, that is mad. I can't even lie.
Well, he used to, Cal. Apparently now he doesn't.
No, Drift, he cut weight for this fight.
What was he supposed to weigh in at? What's the limit?
265 is the limit.
And he had to cut weight for 265.
He weighed in at 263.
But apparently now his training regime is that he walks around at 260, so he doesn't cut anymore.
Another story they're feeding you and you're buying into, Drift. Another story. Oh yeah. Francis doesn't have to cut weight anymore. He just walks around like this all the time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, all right. Do one. All right.
It's scary. You know what's scary? He's far from the greatest. Could you imagine if he harnesses his technical ability in terms of like the way he strikes?
Man, he's only been fighting for 7 years.
Bro, for this, I'm gonna be real, fam.
My point again. Like, why is it not sinking in with you lot? Who do you know has performed it for 7 years, apart from John Jones? But again, there's rumors out there John Jones was created somewhere as well. But like, at least with John Jones, you could see the evolution because he was a wrestler and all that.
Yeah.
He
stepped
into a gym for the first time in his life in his 20s.
Late 20s.
Late 20s. And now he's heavyweight champion of the world and no one wants to question it. I'm sorry, but come on, guys.
That's what you call God's gift, bruv.
I'm going to be real. Jones is the only guy, in my opinion, that could even come close to beating him. And I'm not even trying to say...
No, you've still got to think that there's a possibility that somebody who's extremely heavy-handed could catch him, and you never know.
No one in the division is heavy-handed in Ngannou. It'd have to be someone that can...
No, Derek Lewis could knock him out.
But Derek Lewis hasn't got the speed.
No, he has. I think that's a bit disingenuous.
He's got great timing. Derek's got great timing.
He's got great timing, but I just feel like the Ngannou of now, what he done to Stipe, Derek Lewis was at like the first fight when he fought Ngannou, and he'll be scared to throw. And I think he'll be so wary of like, that's the thing, because it's about what he done to Stipe now. So people are looking at that think, he just done that to Stipe.
Have you ever seen
a granite face?
Have you guys ever seen him wobbled? Have you ever seen Ngannou wobbled?
No.
He's a heavyweight and you've never seen him wobbled.
Bro,
I've never seen anyone hit him, bro, because he always hits them first.
No, apart from Stipe in the first fight. As I said, that
yeah.
Bro, do you know something? When he got hit, I was like, oh my days, like Ngannou might be a little bit wobbly, see what happens. But Ngannou looked like someone had tickled his face. That's scary, bro. I'm gonna be real. If you can punch someone and give them one of your hardest punch and they act like nothing happened, I'm gonna be like, bro, like maybe another day and I catch you on the other side.
He comes out of fights looking cleaner than he goes in. Put it that way.
Did you see Stipe's face?
Of course I have, bro.
During the fight, before that even happened.
And at the beginning of round 2, his face looked like he'd been hit in the face with a baseball bat.
Like he'd been stung by like wasps or something, bro. His face was swelling up bad, you know.
It's mad. Ace and industry.
He was basically getting punched in the face by a car.
That's mad.
Ngannou eats solid food, yam, rice, and beans and malt. He also eats the packaging of the food as well from the look of it. He probably eats the tin. Ace Bet Limited said, if Bobby and Salah both go, I expect Kane and Mbappe in. I don't think they'll both go in one summer.
I can't see any scenario where Liverpool would ever get 2 world-class players in the same summer.
Oh, I can. You can't. You don't believe that? They'll just sell Mane and Salah.
Yeah, we'd only do that if we sell 2 world-class. Yeah,
but obviously sell to buy. That's what. Yeah.
We'd still probably buy 1 world-class and an up-and-comer.
Yeah,
for
Look, guys, we're going to call it a day there. We're only kind of coming for 45 minutes, and you guys got us for almost 2 hours. So
2 hours,
you're
man.
well out of us this evening. You've done well out of us. But as always, we ask that you smash the like button. You subscribe if you're new to the channel. As we've said a few times now, we're on the road to 20K. Almost there. Please just get us over the line, people. We'd really appreciate it. Just to let you guys know, we're not sure what we're doing in terms of previews this week after obviously the news with Claude. So just, again, we'll keep you updated on social media, but we will be doing a preview, just not sure of the structure yet, but we'll keep you updated. And then, yeah, we'll be back very soon. Just make sure you follow us on social media. So on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And yeah, massive thank you for all you joining us. And until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we are out, people. Take care.
Peace.